Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Tony, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about some of the major features and hidden features found on iOS 15. Now, if you're watching this video early, iOS 15 was just released to the public, and you guys can download and install it now directly within the Settings app under General, Software Update. If you're wondering what devices are supported, well, the good news is every device that can run iOS 14 can run iOS 15. That's basically everything from the iPhone 6s all the way up to and including the iPhone 12 and the new iOS device that Apple released, presumably the iPhone 13. You guys caught me, I recorded this video early, but nonetheless, here is my iOS 15 feature video. So there's two new wallpapers. Let's just get that out of the way. This is light mode, and this one right here is dark mode. Now, thanks so much for stopping by and watching this video, because I don't do feature videos too often, but it's something that I kind of wanted to start getting into. And so let me know what you guys think of this one. With iOS 15 this year, it's kind of particular because there is not too many major noteworthy features that we could do like a top 10 list of. It really is a year of refinement from iOS 14 to 15. The only new feature that I really wanted to talk about that's very well known is focus, which is basically a very beefy version of Do Not Disturb. Instead of one Do Not Disturb mode, you can have as many as you want. Basically, in different modes, you can choose which apps can give you notifications. You can go as far as creating a custom home screen layout or having a custom page of apps be displayed during work hours, for example. You can hide your notification badges. It's really impressive. So let's just jump in and I'll walk you through focus, and then we'll get on to some hidden quality of life features. Because really, there's focus mode and everything else is just minor enhancements to already existing great features, and they're just making them even better. So let's start with the new and major feature of iOS 15. If you pull down from the control center, focus is on your control center by default. The second you click one of these focus modes, it will allow you to set it up to the way that you want. You can choose the people you want notifications from. So this is like text, calls from everyone. You can choose the apps you want notifications from, and you can say, hey, regardless of what apps I have here, do you want to include time-sensitive notifications? That's a new feature as well too. You can set on a per app basis how important certain notifications are. So allow time-sensitive, and your focus is ready. Very streamlined setup to get started. Again, at the top, you can tell if the mode is on or off, who's allowed, and what's allowed to send you notifications. You can schedule a time or automate when this focus mode turns on. You can go to lock screen and choose these options. So do I want notifications? Do I want to dim the lock screen? And on the home screen, you can hide notification badges and choose custom pages. So that's what it looks like setting up focus mode from scratch. And if I go back here, you can add as many focus modes as you want. And these modes are automatically updated across all of your devices. So let's take a look at a little bit more established focus mode. So let me just show you my home screen right now. I have this as my first page, this as my second page, and this as my third page, okay? If I pull down and turn on work mode and then go home, as you can see, this is actually my second page now, and this is all my work apps as well as the controls for my office lights. So this page is now first and foremost, and this page is second. Now, the really cool thing is, let me just turn off work mode, and we'll go back to regular iOS. If I open up the page editor here you can see all of the pages that I have hidden and showing. Now this page right here that popped up before my first page, I put that first and have it hidden by default. So when I turn the focus mode on, essentially what it's doing is displaying that page and turning these two off. Now, one very underrated hidden feature is within iOS 15, you can actually rearrange home screen pages just like that. So that's how I was able to get this at the very front and foremost of all my pages. The second cool feature as well too is you can have duplicate icons. So I can have my messages down there and I can have my messages on its own page. So that's how some of my work applications here show up on this page for, during personal time, and then also show up on the first page right here when my work mode is enabled. So if I jump into my work focus mode, you can see my girlfriend and my parents are the only people that I will get notifications from. I'll only get notifications from my work apps. It automatically turns on weekdays from 9 to 5. I have my lock screen dimmed, so work mode is on. That's what it looks like on the lock screen. As you can see, it has this little notification banner right there showing that work mode is enabled. Again, on the home screen, you can choose to hide notification badges. So when work mode is on, there are no badges on any icons, so I'm not distracted by that. Also with focus mode in messages, your friends will be notified that you are in a focus mode if you're not receiving notifications for that contact. And if you want to get really advanced with focus mode, you can actually trigger a focus mode when you connect a Bluetooth controller. Same goes the other way. If focus mode is enabled, you can trigger that with the Siri shortcut to do something else, like set your hue lights to a certain color. So lots of potential with focus mode. Now, focus mode is incredibly useful for work and for personal, but I could really see this being very useful like if I have a workout mode or I'm recording a video mode. So I'm looking forward to set those up pretty soon, but that I hope gives you a good gist of what focus mode brings to iOS 15. The rest of this video is going to be kind of like a hidden features video because that was the major feature that is launching at launch. A lot of the other ones that I really wanted to talk about, like SharePlay or having your ID in your wallet, are not launching when iOS 15 comes out. So we can't really review those since they're not public yet. So quality of life changes, minor UI refinements on the OS level all the way down to a per app level. Let's just jump in. There's really no order to this, but I'm sure you guys will find something that you didn't know about iOS 15 in this video. So here's my alarm page. It's an absolute mess, and that's because in iOS 14, to edit an alarm, you had to go edit, tap on the alarm, and use this awful keypad. It was really hard to change the time or delete them, so I just never did. But now in iOS 15, to edit the alarm, you can just tap on it. And look, this cool little pinwheel is back like pre-iOS 14. So hooray, they put that back to the way it was. This is so much easier to use. So what I'm super excited about is system-wide drag and drop. And an easy example is here by selecting a few photos. I can move out to the home screen with these still selected. I can go to my Messages app and drop them right into a message like that. I thought they disappeared for a second, but there we go. Now they're all in my message, ready to send off to someone. But like I said, this is system-wide, so even in apps like Files, you can select a few and do the same thing if you wanted to. Another feature is if you're recording a video, you can actually zoom just like that. Whenever you're editing a message, this little cursor magnifier is now back by default. Gotta love that. Also, Siri can now be used when you are offline for simple commands that don't require the internet, like, what time is it? Okay, I guess you need to be online to know the time, but you can do things like, set a timer for 15 minutes. Huh. Why can't it tell the time? That's interesting. But you can set timers. In the Notes app, as well as the Reminders app, and now you can add tags to your notes. So I have tags test. If I go all the way back to all my notes, Immediately, tags test shows up under tags. If you click on that, it will show all of the notes that you have that tag in. So I can't really test this one, but you know how if you have AirPods, you can announce your messages when they come in. Well, now that feature is getting expanded to announce notifications. So not only the Messages app, but pretty much any app you have installed, you can turn on announce notifications. Also, it not only works with AirPods now, but any Bluetooth device that you have connected to your iPhone. So a couple of my favorite privacy and security features, again, nothing crazy, but you're just like, oh, thank God this is finally here. One is if you leave your AirPods or anything you have an AirTag attached to behind somewhere and walk away, you now get a notification saying, hey, you left that behind. You should probably go get that. Also, along with this, with AirPods, if they're closed like this in the case, you can now ping them and have them play a sound even when they're closed in the case. I can't tell you how many times I've just put these in the wrong room and I can't even get a location on them. But now, thank God, that's fixed. Secondly, too, when you turn your iPhone off, let's go ahead and try this out. I actually haven't done this, but your iPhone will still be findable even when you power it off. So if I turn it off like this, actually this is the first time I'm turning it off, so it gives you this nice little prompt right here notifying you of this new feature. That's pretty cool. So here's a couple of hidden features within Spotlight. Spotlight now allows you to actually uninstall and install apps without ever having to enter the App Store. So if I type like Zoom, as you can see, I can just tap on it right there to reinstall it. You can also drag and drop right from Spotlight directly to your home screen. And again, once Zoom is installed, if I just tap on it, I can delete it so I don't have to go searching to figure out where it is. Lastly, within Spotlight, now you can search through your Photos albums. So if you type cats, it will give you photo suggestions of all your photos with cats, and there is my cousin's cat. So one more for quality of life, and this was actually the very first thing that iOS 15 showed me right after updating, is it popped this up automatically, but if you go to passwords in the settings app and enter in your passcode, it shows you all of your accounts and saved passwords. Now I'm gonna have to blur some of this out, but just trust me, there's a lot. Now, this is new in iOS 15, security recommendations, and this was a bit overwhelming for me. It shows you passwords that you should change immediately, either because they've been jeopardized in a data leak or because they're super repetitive or easily guessable. That's a great feature to have built right into iOS. Other security features are private relay for Safari. Also, you should get this prompt after updating to iOS 15. You can protect your mail activity. Now, this is off by default, but essentially this prevents email marketers from tracking if you've opened their email or interacted with it. Another one, this one's in accessibility, but the easiest way to get to it is if you search, what is it? I think it's just background sounds right here. So there's a lot of like sleep or just white noise generator apps on the App Store. Well, now that's actually built directly into iOS. So you can choose a background noise like balance noise. And if we go back and click enable background sounds, as you can hear, there's a background white noise. Now this is easily turned on and off right in the control center, so you can have it right at your disposal whenever you need it. With notifications, you can have a notifications summary. So you have a summary of all your non-urgent notifications, and you can set this at any time of the day to be delivered. Walking through the setup, you can choose which apps you would like to be notified about. And by default, it suggests one right in the morning and one right after dinner time. So like I was saying, on a per app basis, you can set notification delivery to immediate or to that scheduled summary. If we take a look at iOS 14 in comparison, the app name and icon are that tiny little thing, and now on iOS 15, it looks more like this. It looks like you can also set your announced notification setting within the app tab itself too. Oh, and that's cool. When you're screen sharing, it automatically turns notifications off. That's pretty neat. So let's take a look at the Messages app. But before we do, I'd like to give a huge shout out to our friends over at Surfshark. Now, if you've yet to hear me talk about Surfshark, they have an awesome VPN service and an awesome deal going on right now. You can use the promo code ICU at checkout to get Surfshark 83% off and 3 months entirely free. Now, a VPN is great to have whether you're traveling or anywhere on a public Wi-Fi network that you're sharing with other computers. You can keep all of your data and internet traffic private. Also, you can access Netflix, Hulu, YouTube, and content libraries all over the world, even when you're at home. And that's typically how I use it. Now, my favorite part about Surfshark is you only need one subscription for an unlimited amount of devices. I have all my Xboxes, Fire TVs, iPhones, and all my computers running Surfshark at the exact same time under one subscription plan. Anyway, guys, if you're looking for a VPN and you're interested in this deal, definitely check the first link down below in this video's description. Use the promo code ICU at checkout to get 83% off and 3 months free. So let's take a look at the Messages app. It doesn't look like a whole lot's changed, but again, under the hood, a lot of things have been updated and refined. So now when you want to go to a contact page, you can just tap on the contact photo at the very top. If you scroll down on this page, you can actually download all of the photos that were shared with you with one button. When you're going to compose a message, if you tap right there, instead of pasting, you can actually scan text directly from the camera. So I have this wall of text from Apple's page. If I just put this down here, look how quick that is. I can just click insert. Not that I want this, but that scanned a lot of text really quickly. Also, I love this FaceTime icon right there. You can either do a voice or video FaceTime call with a click of a button. When someone sends you a photo or video or any of this content right here, you can actually easily download it. So let's check this out. I'm gonna send myself a lot of wallpapers. And you'll see what happens when you get a stack of photos. There's this new UI like carousel thing that you can swipe through all of the photos. And right from here, you can tap download to save all of your photos on your personal device. So while we're on the topic of photos, if we jump into this app, the big update is now we can see metadata. You can see when the photo was taken, where it was taken, with what device, with what aperture and all those settings, and what format it's saved in. And the really cool thing here is you can search for your photos, and this is really smart. It's not only people and places anymore, you can actually search by device now. So it's really minor, but it's really cool. So I guess when you download the photos that someone sent with you as well too, you can see who sent it to you. And I think if you tap on the name, you can see where in the conversation this was sent. So another major change with iOS 15 is FaceTime. Pretty much the entire UI has changed. Now let me go ahead and just start a FaceTime call. Going to mute the microphones just so there's no feedback here. But now let's take a little bit closer look at this. Now, right now it's really toned down because there is no SharePlay that is not launching when iOS 15 first comes out. But the cool thing is portrait mode is launching. And what portrait mode does, if I look at this camera, so right now portrait mode is on. As you can see, the background is blurred, but my face is not. If I tap the icon, that's without portrait mode. So it looks a lot better. Now, the main feature within FaceTime is it's not limited to iPhones anymore. You can now share the link to this FaceTime call, similar to how Zoom and other video conferencing software works. So someone with an Android or a Windows PC can join this FaceTime call. Now, one feature that I don't see people talking about too much, if you pull down from the control center, I don't know why this isn't in the FaceTime interface, but you have mic modes. Now, microphone is muted right now, but you have voice isolation and wide spectrum. Those are coming out on day one, so your voice will be a little bit clearer over FaceTime if that's selected. Or if you want to hear everything around you, you can choose wide spectrum as well too. So new voice options, there's also the ability to turn portrait mode on and off right from the control center too. But lots of quality of life improvements. You have everything you need. If you wanted to quickly send a message to the group, you can tap that icon right there. But yeah, the big feature, SharePlay, is not launching when iOS 15 comes out. That's why this is lower on the list. Within Safari, everyone knows the big change here. The address bar is at the bottom of the page. What's awesome though is for tabs, you can just swipe through like that. If you tap and hold on this AA, that will pull up reader mode. And this is really interesting. I just saw this. If you go to share the page and you click on options right there, you can actually send a reader PDF or just a PDF of the page. Let's see what that looks like. So yeah, it's like a printout of interesting. Like, that's kind of cool though. Like if you had to print like a shipping label or something, you could literally just send somebody like a PDF of it. That's kind of cool. Also, if we go into the settings app, you can go to extensions. Safari has extensions, and it actually has its entire own section in the App Store for just Safari extensions. So you can just tap to get like an ad blocker and install that. Lastly, since the address bar is at the bottom, to reload the page, you just pull down from the top. This isn't really a hidden feature, but since it's one of the biggest app changes, the weather app is completely redesigned. I'll just let you guys go ahead and play around with that, but it's cool, it's very useful. Now, I'm going to end this video on a little bit different note than I initially thought. I'm going to end it talking about Apple Maps. Now, this is probably the biggest under the hood update to a system that I've seen in a very long time. Apple is catching up to Google Maps and Waze like nobody's business here. And the new maps took me a long time to get used to, but after using it for about 2 weeks, it is incredibly useful. Even from this kind of crazy color scheme, you can just pick up really quickly that food, oh, that's orange. Convenience stores, that's yellow. You know, gas or utilities are blue. Hotels are purple. Like once you get that kind of color scheme in your head, you know, green is parks. It's really quickly to just browse on a map. And the direction UI is even better. So like if I type, let's just go Portland. So when you're searching for anything, the entire UI has changed. I mean, just little things. If you tap on the name of something, it pulls up like a summary of that city. The cool thing too is when you start a direction, you can do two things here. One, you can go from my location and leaving now. If you tap that, you can set a time that you are going to leave, and traffic conditions and things like that will update, and the ETA will update as well too. Or you can choose arrive by, like I have to be here by this time, and it will tell you when you should head out, which is really pretty cool. The other cool thing is you can add a stop. So to add a stop, all we have to do is tap that little chevron and click add a stop, and you can put in another place along your route. It actually shows multiple on the route. I can say I want to add that Shell station, and then essentially it reroutes it with that gas station now in my route. So super cool. You can also report an incident like a crash, hazard, or speed check similar to Waze. So that's pretty sweet. The iOS has this now too. And this is great. I love just trying this stuff out. Like if you don't want to stop at that gas station anymore, you can just say, hey, resume route. Anyway, that wraps up this video, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. Let me know down below how I did, if this covered iOS 15 to your heart's desire, if you guys want more or less detail. Yeah, so I tried to focus mainly on features that weren't too well known to the public, but it is a major release, so it's hard not to talk about like the major feature. Anyway, I hope it was a good mix. I hope you guys found something that you didn't know before and that you enjoyed this video. If you made it to this point, thank you so much for stopping by. Definitely subscribe before you go. I'll catch you guys real soon in another video, but until next time, this is Tony, signing out.